Hello, welcome back to Gary's Horror Drive-In. This week I got more of a haul for Movie Zing. Right off the top here, I'm going with a non-movie Zing. This is the titular movie that's on my thumb this week. It's Dr. Giggles, A New Prescription for Terror. I remember seeing this one way back when. This is a Scream Factory release out of 1992. Larry Drake did a very good job as Dr. Giggles here. It says, no need for an appointment. Forget about your copay. Healthcare won't save you from Dr. Giggles. Larry Drake, also who played in Darkman, plays the night-prowling surgical psychopath who wreaks havoc on the residents of a once peaceful town, from an old haunted house to a midway funhouse, from unwanted house calls to the operating table. The doctor is insane. Has a slew of special features, which, Scream Factory does a really good job. I think this one, I don't know what it was. I had the VHS back in the day, and I never got around to buying it on DVD or Blu-ray, but here it is. Very happy to add this. I had to get this one replaced by the person I bought it from, because originally it had like a slit in the back here, where kind of like where the special features info is here. But they sent this out. I kind of threw a little bit of a complaint about it because I've been buying from them, and I just don't understand why some of these places that send stuff out, they don't look at what they're sending out. I mean, I know they got a lot of merchandise they sent out, but I mean, it's not really, wasn't very missable. I mean, it was like right in the middle back, but yeah, I was very happy to get this. But if you haven't seen this one, you can catch this one on Tubi right now. I believe it's still playing on there. I revisited it Tubi last night, and I watched the old 88, 89 movie called Scarecrows. I don't know if you remember that one back in the day. But I did, in passing, I did see this one was on Tubi. And then next up, I got a movie starring Morgan Freeman. It's from the Warner Archive Collection. It's called Lean on Me. A true story about a real hero from the director of The Karate Kid and The Rocky. It's from PG-13. Pat Collins called it a knockout, a story of courage, guts, and action. But this is available on Movie Zing, and this right here is a Movie Zing title. This includes the original theatrical trailer. Basically, it's about high school principal Joe Clark. There's a part in there he goes, "Oh, I'm Batman," because he's carrying a bat, and I don't know. It kind of is like a nod to Batman a little bit in here, with it being a Warner Brothers movie as well. Very early on, I think you get a song from Guns N' Roses in here too. I thought that was pretty cool to throw that in there. But yeah, this is a very fun movie. If you haven't seen Lean on Me, you need to check it out. I'm a really big Morgan Freeman fan, so that's why I grabbed it more than anything. But yeah, thank you, Movie Zing, for sending that one over. And this is one I watched back in the day. This is a special edition that starred Brad Pitt, Eric Bana, and Orlando Bloom, who we know from Lord of the Rings. This is the director's cut of Troy. And this is a Warner Brothers title. This clocks in at almost 200 minutes. Very long film. Has a slew of special features. That's presented in stereo audio. Partially 1080p and 1080i. Partially 480p and 480i. But yeah, it also comes equipped with a theatrical trailer. If you're kind of on the fence about this one, you can probably find the trailer here on YouTube. But this was a really well period piece, kind of like like in the kind of like the Roman days and that kind of thing. Really good cast here. I thought it was kind of cool to get Brad Pitt and Eric Bana and something, and then to have Orlando Bloom in this from Lord of the Rings as well. But thank you, Movie Zing, for sending that one over. I really like this one. But that, like I said, that's a director's cut of that one. And then we're going to flip back over here to a non Movie Zing film. This is Pumpkinhead 2 Blood Wings. And this one, I believe, is a Spanish release. I can't really read anything. But it's not too bad of a sequel. It's not in the vein, obviously, as the first one. Uh, but it clocks in about 88 minutes. It has the sheriff in this was played in Hellraiser, the first Hellraiser. He played Frank's brother with oh geez, what was her name? The villainous lady that played in the first Hellraiser. He stars the sheriff in this, and I think Mickey Dolenz of the Monkees, his daughter, played in this as well. Pretty fun film. It's obviously it's not on the level of the first one, and as the series went on, obviously they're not on the level. But very happy to add Blood Wings to my library of movies. But check that one out. I'm sure you can find this one on Tubi or someplace out there tonight. But yeah, not a bad sequel. Definitely better than the 3, 4, and whatever, how many they had in the series. But then next up, we're right back to MOViE Zing here. This is a remastered deluxe edition of the animated classic Lord of the Rings, which kind of started it all, I believe, was this animated one. It's PG, clocks in at 133 minutes. It has Forging Through the Darkness, the Ralph Bakshi vision for Lord of the Rings. I think Ralph Bakshi did some like really early 70s stuff that I can't think of. Maybe Fritz the Cat, maybe he did that. I'm not sure. I want to say yes, that's what he did. But yeah, this is from 1978 as well. So this hit Warner Brother Blu-ray, I guess, or DVD in 2010. I guess it's when it first hit DVD or Blu-ray. But yeah, very happy to get that to add to the Lord of the Rings collection that I do have. Thank you, MOViE Zing, for sending that over. And here's a movie that went way under the radar. It's called Sucker Punch. This too is a Warner Brothers release, and this is a Zack Snyder produced movie. It's PG-13, clocks in at 110 minutes. Stun gun, gorgeous, psychosexually unnerving, fantasy action, horrific, and definitely not for the faint of heart, says Bessie Sharkey of the LA Times. Has a little bit of special features. Has a Sucker Punch behind the soundtrack as well. I'm not sure who actually. I don't know if there's really not. They don't really put on the. Saying Scott Glenn was in this. Vanessa Hudgens, Jamie Chung, Carla Guangino, who we know is the son-in-law, was the girl that Pauly Shore fell for, the country girl in that. She's in this. This looks pretty cool. I haven't ever watched it. I remember when it hit theaters, but this came out 2011. It doesn't seem like it's been, 14, going on 15 years that it's been out. But I've seen this one pop up in Big Lots, and I don't know if I grabbed it. But again, thank you, MOViE Zing, for sending that one over. Can't wait to finally get around to watching it. It says, too, it's from Legendary Pictures. And then we're really going back to a throwback here. Warner Archive Collection, movie starring Robert Donat and Rosalind Russell. That's called The Citadel. It also stars Ralph Richardson, Rex Harrison, and Emmeline Williams. It says it's an MGM Mayer picture in conjunction. So this one clocks in at 112 minutes. Basically, this movie is a doctor battles suffering and ignorance, and it's considered one of the greatest films about the medical profession, so it's kind of why I grabbed it. And it does have a little bit of tidbit of special features in this one, but really don't know a lot about it, but I thought I'd grab it. It just kind of stood out to me, like the throwback. Well, obviously it's a throwback because it's an older movie, but I really like the older days of the cinema posters and whatnot. They really put a lot of effort into them, and I kind of miss the days when art for movies would look like this. But that really looks very eye-catching, I think. What do you guys think tonight? I think it does. But pick that one up. Then here's the series. I don't know if it's still airing on the CW. But I have watched about 3 or 4 seasons. I'm not sure if it's still continuing. This is the 100. And this is from Warner Brothers as well. It says 544 minutes of elapsed time on this. A little bit of special features. There's a 2013 Comic-Con panel on this as well. Apparently there's an audio commentary and unaired scenes on the season finale. I guess some of that stuff was never aired, I'm guessing. They call the 100 is imaginative, surprising, and fun, says Tom Gliato of People magazine. Pretty cool. Early on it was really good, and then kind of like as I got watching it, kind of lost its way a little bit for me. I don't know. It was a good series, but like, I don't know. It's kind of like any series. They kind of get a little sloppy as shows go on, and the writing isn't as good. People leave these shows, and they don't really embrace the source material, and kind of, like I say, they get a little lazy with the creative stuff. But yeah, it's not a bad series. Thank you, MOViE Zing, for sending that one out as well. And let's drop over here to Unit 234, starring Don Johnson, Isabel Fuhrman, who plays in the Orphan movies, Isabel Fuhrman and Jack Huston, I'm not sure how you pronounce that. Doesn't look like Houston, it looks more like Huston. This is a Brainstorm Media release. It says, when a group of criminals comes to collect the contents of a storage unit, the woman running the storage facility has to play a game of cat and mouse to escape with her life. And I want to say this is the dude that played, I want to say he played in Cold Wallet. Maybe I'm mistaken, but I think he played in the movie Cold Wallet, this actor right here. It clocks in at 86 minutes. It's widescreen presented. Yeah, it's good seeing Don Johnson in something for a change. And this came out in 2023, it's saying. So, you get a chance, check that one out. A better look at it. It's a little glary there. I'm sorry about that. But it's good to also see the actress Isabel Fuhrman playing and stuff too. Because she did come out with the Orphan First Kill. I was very surprised they ever got around to making a sequel or prequel or whatever to any of the first one of the first Orphan. But it's good to see she's still going in Hollywood. But there's a quick look at the back. Thank you, MOViE Zing, for sending that over. Something kind of in the same vein here. Movie star Ruby Rose and everybody's friend Frank Grillo here. Called Stowaway. I don't know if this is kind of like Dead Calm. It kind of gives me that Dead Calm vibe. It's from Wogo USA. Clocks in at 94 minutes. It says it's from Saban Films as well. When a chance romantic encounter aboard a luxury yacht takes a deadly turn, a tenacious party girl, Ruby Rose, finds herself trapped at sea with three ruthless thieves. Cut off from the world with no escape, she's forced to rely on her wits and sheer will to survive as the intruders tighten their grip. She turns the tables, fighting back with relentless determination. Stowaway is a high-stakes thriller where survival means taking control or being left for dead. So, pretty cool. Does kind of give that Dead Calm feel a little bit with Billy Zane and I'm blanking on the actress. Of course I would going live here. But we all know who I mean. Nicole Kidman. It kind of has that. It kind of has the writing a little bit like Speed as well. I don't know if it's like kind of like more like Speed 2 as well. Maybe, I don't know. It kind of has that Speed 2 look to it as well. But thank you for sending that over, MOViE Zing. And then I got a movie here starring James Garner. Couldn't resist. I see he was in it, and he passed. I don't know, probably good at least 10, 15 years ago. Thought I'd grab it. It stars Ava Marie Saint, Yves Montand, is that Montand or Montand? I'm not sure. Toshiro Mifune, Brian Bedford, Jessica Walter, Antonio Sabato, and introducing Francois Hardy. It's called Grand Prix. All the glamour and greatness of the world's most exciting drama of speed and spectacle. And I thought I'd grab this one because currently Brad Pitt's in one similar to this one called F1, I believe it's called. This has some slew of special features. It says this was digitally transferred from the original 65mm elements of the greatest auto racing movie ever, which, that's kind of subjective. I don't know. I don't know if it is the best. I know the one with Tom Cruise is pretty good too. Was it Thunder Road? I can't think of what it was called. Well, you might know what I'm talking about, but yeah, this is from Warner Brothers as well, and I believe this is a Canadian released disc maybe as well, because it does have the Canadian maple leaf on the back here. It says it from 1966, and it came out on Turner Entertainment in 2011, but it says it was also nominated for Best Film Editing, Sound, and Sound Effects back in '66, so to check that out sometime. But that's Grand Prix. I know it kind of looks like it says Grand Prix, but I don't know. I don't get how they get Grand Prix. I guess because it's like a silent, the X is silent. I don't know if it's like a French name, but pretty cool. Nonetheless, I thought I'd grab that. Starring James Garner. And here we're going to go animated for a little bit. And I know it's not accustomed to what goes on here on the channel, but we got Stickman and the Highway Rat. It's from the Gruffalo and Friends collection, these two. This is, I don't know if this is supposed to be like Gruffalo 4 and 5 here. But first up was Stickman. John Stickman, on his epic journey across the seasons as he runs from a playful dog, gets thrown in a river and escapes from a swan's nest. With a little help from Santa, can he make it back home to his family in time for Christmas? It features the voice of Hugh Bonneville, Rob Brydon, Martin Freeman, Sally Hawkins. We know from the Paddington Bear series, but and so on. There's quite a few well-known voiceover actors here. Has a photo gallery inside the family tree behind the scenes of Stickman. Problem is, though, this clocks in at 26 minutes, and this one comes out of the UK. Kind of reminds me a little bit like a Kids Fair kind of stuff, like with Mouse House or House Mouse, whatever that show was my kids used to watch back in the day. So this is out of 2015. The aspect ratio is 178:1, but I thought I'd grab it. Looks interesting. And more in the same vein here is the Highway Rat. Different voiceover actors on this one. I'm not going to go through each one and read those, but this one is the swashbuckling tale of a greedy rat who craves buns and biscuits. Tearing along the highway, he searches for sugary treats to steal. Will his sweet tooth lead him to a sticky outcome when he meets his match in a cunning duck? So he meets up with a duck in this, I guess. Animation looks pretty cool, though. I mean, a lot of effort went into these. This one clocks in at 26 minutes. This is from Magic Light Pictures as well. Let's see. Trying to see what year. Oh, this one came out 2017. This is a couple years after the Stickman one I just read. Pretty cool. Kind of almost has like that DreamWorks kind of vibe to it a little bit, or kind of like maybe the UK's version of not Touchstone, but DreamWorks or whatever. But there's a quick look at the back. But nonetheless, very happy to get those. And I remember this one back in the day. I want to say that's spelt wrong on the cover here. I'm not sure if that's how you spell it. I'm pretty sure you don't spell Whoopi Goldberg like that, but maybe I'm wrong. This is Fatal Beauty, and it also stars brilliant actor Sam Elliott. Says she's so cool, she's smart, and she's the toughest cop on the street. I kind of feel like this one was trying to go for a female version of maybe, I don't know if it was out at the same time, but I kind of get this major vibe, like it's trying to be a female version of Beverly Hills Cop here. It's from MGM, from out of 87, 104 minutes. It says a deadly new drug called Fatal Beauty is wreaking havoc on the streets of LA. And only tough as nails cop Rita Rizzoli here, Whoopi Gold. Yeah, it is spelt wrong. because on the back it's without an E, and then it's on the cover it's with an E. I thought that looked wrong. Can take down the drug lord responsible. Sam Elliott also stars in this high-octane, explosive romantic action comedy. Very weird pairing, I think, to have Sam Elliott and Whoopi Goldberg in a movie together. Kind of weird, at least to me. I don't know. I don't think I've ever played in anything since then together, but this is rated R. It's 185:1 aspect ratio, but I don't know, something about this. I remember this back in a video store. It always caught my eye. I just never, I don't know, it was like any 80s film. It was like there was like a slew of them that you would always intend to rent, and then you never did, but this is one of the ones. Oh yeah, I think it's almost a given this was a kind of like a spin-off of Beverly Hills Cop, because the music was done by Harold Faltermeyer, who also did Axel F from Beverly Hills Cop. So I'm thinking they thought the box office was going to be big enough that maybe they could have built this into like maybe a trilogy for Whoopi Goldberg, because she was kind of big back in the 80s with The Color Purple and several other films that she did. But there's a look at that. Really happy to get that from MOViE Zing. Well, again, that was from MGM. If I'm leaving anybody out on the names of the studios, I apologize, but trying to do these in a timely manner. Sylvester Stallone and Sharon Stone, The Specialist. Back in Hollywood, at this time, nobody was a bigger actress at this point after Basic Instinct and, I don't know, some of the other ones that she was into as well. But I did see this one in the theater. This one was a bit erotic I felt, for a Stallone movie a little bit. I mean, not that that's a bad thing, but like, as a guy, I don't really want to watch stuff like that. I mean, I don't mind seeing Sharon Stone, I'm not going to lie, but I don't know. It's just kind of, I don't know, it kind of like he went like a little bit Stallone romanticized at this point in this one. It clocked in at 110 minutes, rated R for strong violence and sexuality. Like I said, they probably put that sexuality part in there because of the fact that, it was a pretty amped up sexual movie at times in it. From back in 94, and it says 2011 it come to Warner Brothers Entertainment. So Stallone and Stone make an explosively sexy match made for high def, and yeah, I definitely think it was amped up on the sexual scale a little bit. Not so much for Sharon Stone, because she was used to that shtick, but like Stallone really didn't. Other than I heard that he did Playboy at one point. I don't know if that's true or not, but yeah, very uncommon for Stallone to kind of amp up the sexuality in his movies. But next up is a movie, or well, not movie, a series you can currently catch on MeTV Tunes. I don't know. I just watched it late at night, and I started watching it nightly at like 11. I think it comes on at 11 o'clock every night on MeTV Tunes. I think it's even on Saturday and Sunday too, but it's from the Warner Archive collection. I think it might have even been a part of MOViE Zing, and when they were sending them over to review. But Wait Till Your Father Gets Home, the complete series. I did hear something about this set. Somebody was saying they weren't able to play some of the seasons or some of the episodes or something because like it would either freeze or whatever. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if that's such a thing that somebody owns this tonight. Let me know. They're saying it's peace, love, and laughs. Basically, it's the age of Aquarius dawned. Harry Boyle here, the father. I feel like oh geez, I can't think of it. Family Guy. I feel like Family Guy. People say that they kind of stole from Archie Bunker, the All in the Family, but I kind of feel like it stole more from this. But anyway, Harry Boyle here was inspired by the era of live-action TV series such as All in the Family. Comes the generation gap comedy Wait Till Your Father Gets Home. The voice is done by the late great Tom Bosley, who played the father in Happy Days. I'm not sure who did the voices of the others, but I kind of get the Meg vibe with the one daughter, and then um, I get the wife kind of comes off like Lois to me because she's kind of nasally, and she's always trying to calm Harry, this character Harry Boyle, down all the time. But this comes complete with 48 episodes. This kind of took place during women's lib, civil rights, the hippies, sexuality, communes, and the Cold War, and kind of tackled subjects such as that. This son is kind of like a meathead character in the show. He just kind of lives off the money the father and brings in, or any. I mean, I guess he does have some spending money, but he's like always worried about buying something rather than contributing or whatever. But this comes complete with 48 episodes. It has the voice appearances from Monty Hall, Don Knotts, Phyllis Diller, and Rich Whittle. And I have seen the one that had Rich Whittle in it. Can't recall ever seeing the one yet with Don Knotts, but has a pretty funny neighbor that kind of gets it under his skin from time to time. I don't know, it's a really funny show. It's from Hanna-Barbera as well. It debuted in '72 and lasted until '74, and then apparently hit Warner Brothers Entertainment Physical Media in 2025 or earlier this year. But yeah, you get a chance, check this out on MeTV Tunes. I highly recommend it. It's very funny, very intelligently written. Like everything about it, I don't know. I try to catch it every night. At least try to stay up for at least one. I'm getting older. I don't stay up as late as I used to, but I try to stay up for at least a good portion of watching most of it. But yeah, check that out if you get a chance on MeTV Tunes, and that's Wait Till Your Father Gets Home. And then next up is the original director's cut of a Phil Feldman production, The Wild Bunch, starring William Holden, the late great Ernest Borgnine, who played Mermaid Man in SpongeBob, in case you don't know. Also the millionaire dodgeball, or not dodgeball, basketball owner in it. I remember the scene where he's rubbing his chest and then he has a heart attack or whatever. But Robert Ryan, Edmund O'Brien, Warren Oates, Jamie Sanchez, and late great Ben Johnson. It's a 4-star classic. It's being called. Has a bunch of special features. This is director Sam Peckinpah's film, The Wild Bunch, a powerful tale of hangdog desperados bound by a code of honor. Rates as one of the all-time greatest westerns, and in 1994 it was restored to a complete, pristine condition, unseen since its July '69 release. And this new definition transfer showcases its renewed blood and thunder effect. Watch William Holden, Ernest Borgnine, Robert Ryan, and more greats stars saddle up for the roles of a lifetime. There are no special features for subtitles. It is available in English, French, and Spanish subtitles and stereo and monograph sound. It's presented in 5.1, 2.0, and 2.0 Spanish, along with French 2.0. 480i or 480p, 16:9 high definition. So about the best you're going to get, unless there's a 4K or whatever of this. I don't know, but yeah, very happy to get this. I like a good Western. I even like these older ones, kind of like the Clint Eastwood ones, the spaghetti Westerns. Michael Wilmington of Chicago Tribune says it's an American masterpiece. The restored director's cut is a cause for celebration. So check that one out, and thank you Movie Zing for sending that one over. We're almost done here, folks. I apologize about the long video this week, but okay. And then next up, movie I seen here back in the day. It was a week where Cat in the Hat, the one with Mike Myers, was. Excuse my face being really red this week. It's been really hot in our area. I turned the AC off. I'm kind of giving it a break. I don't want to get a brownout or whatever. But yeah, this is a movie that came out, I want to say, in the wintertime. Kind of like that time when they would release stuff like winters or horror stuff in the winter. They were kind of hoping like January or like that December, January time frame where they'd throw a I don't know if that's when it was. I want to say that's when it was late winter maybe, but it was about that time when they throw a horror film out there in La La Land, and they know uh, it's got a better shot at doing better in the movies because of the fact that it's not in the summer movie season where it's going against blockbusters. But Cat in the Hat was out at this point, and this is a movie starring Robert Downey Jr. as well and Penelope Cruz. That's Gothica. It's a Warner Brothers release, rated R. Clocks in at 98 minutes. This one has quite a few special features on it. Thelma Adams of U.S. Weekly calls it a total scream. At Woodward Penitentiary for Women, a highly disturbed inmate is now held in the psych ward, once overseen by criminal psychologist Miranda Gray. The inmate Dr. Gray herself, Halle Berry. Academy Award winner Halle Berry portrays Gray, accused of a savage murder and clinging to her sanity as she copes with ghostly encounters in the Scarefest from producers Joel Silver, Robert Zemeckis, and Susan Levin. A fellow doctor, Robert Downey Jr., a volatile inmate, Penelope Cruz, and others figure in her harrowing ordeal. Matthew Kassovitz directs this jolting ghost story in which the only thing more gripping than Gray's stark awakening into madness is her feverish attempt to escape it. It's not a bad thriller. I mean, I kind of feel like in a way it's kind of in the vein of like the Skeleton Key. Not in the story, but like the horror film kind of as the thriller's disguising itself as a thriller or a horror film, horror thriller, that kind of thing. Yeah, I liked it back in the day. I don't know. I haven't visited it lately. I don't know if it holds up very well now, but I had pretty much fun with it back in the day, and I don't regret not going to see Cat in the Hat with Mike Myers instead of going to see this, but I do now because like my kids probably would have, and they were not older, but they probably would have enjoyed that one much better. But we kind of as a family always would go to see these horror thrillers or whatever horror films in the theater like almost every other week. But I don't know, the family just loves thriller horror slash film, the horror thriller kind of film. But also kind of has a little bit like a Silent Hill vibe to it as well, with the on the back here a little bit, kind of like everything's kind of bleak and gray, and it's kind I don't know, it's kind of also kind of like that one with Leonardo DiCaprio, Shutter Island, a little bit with the doctor stuff, and yeah, but yeah, it's pretty cool. It's kind of like a mystery as well in it. Kind of like the way the one with Leonardo, Shutter Island. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like a mystery throughout. And then I remember watching this back in the theater. I love the soundtrack. I just love the way they plugged this movie back in the day, and I could see why I got multiple sequels. It's just too bad after a while they went the direct-to-video route, because I don't know. I mean, I know they weren't going to last forever, but movie here called Free Willy. That's PG. Clocks in at 112 minutes. This is a Canadian release disc. Pure Magic, You Will Cheer, says Joel Siegel of Good Morning America. Audiences around the world were touched by this story of a troubled boy and a captive orca whale he befriends. Captured at sea, confined in a small tank in an aquatic park, Willie, Kaiko the orca whale, is an unhappy and unpredictable attraction. No one understands Willie except a scruffy street kid named Jason James Richter. And I often wonder what happened to Jason James Richter. He kind of fell off the radar after these movies come out, which is kind of sad. Because I thought he was a promising young actress. Kind of, this is the way most young actors and actresses go. They kind of disappear or they walk away. But who knows what it's like to be without a family. Together, these two form a special bond, one so strong that they're willing to risk it all to Find a Way Home. It has special features, Michael Jackson, Will You Be There music video, I remember that. Whale ballet montage, a conversation with wildlife cinematography, 𝙂𝙍𝙍𝙃𝙤𝙬, and theatrical trailers. And this too was from Warner Brothers. This one came out way back, almost, over 30 years ago. It just does not seem like 30 years ago. It must hit DVD, Blu-ray sometime about 2015. There's Free Willy. Not very much to say about the back, but I always liked that. That was very eye-catching back in the day. You know, I was sold on going opening week, and I did, and I was glad I did. Had a lot of fun with that one. And then now we're not going to MOViE Zing here. We're going to someone I buy from on eBay. I choose to kind of keep her close to the cuff on throwing her name out there, because, like, I don't know, she has some pretty good titles. I don't want to, like, everybody flock to eBay, you know. Like, I mean, she does get business, but this is a movie called Meridian, Seduced by Something Less Than Human, In Love with Something More. It's remastered in 16:9 widescreen and 5.1 surround. It's from Full Moon Features. Came out in, let's see, 1990, clocks in at 85 minutes. A beautiful young artist must choose her destiny in this hauntingly, or as they'd say, Back to the Future, density. Hauntingly sensual tale of love, passion, and revenge. Catherine Bomarzini, played by actress Sherilyn Fenn, who we know from Twin Peaks, Fatal Instinct, Gilmore Girls. She returns to the family castle in Italy after her father's death. Gets caught in the web of a mysterious love triangle. A man, Malcolm Jameson, who is at times repulsive, at other times enchanting, and a creature of the night, whose gentle eyes and touch reveal his infinite love and devotion. With the help of Martha, Hilary Mason, her faithful childhood nanny, and the ghost of a slain young girl, Catherine discovers a medieval curse that threatens their lives and only she can dispel. Kind of sounds a little bit like a Beauty and the Beast. That's what I'm getting here. Kind of like a full moon version of Beauty and the Beast. I like the name too, the Meridian. It kind of, when I hear the name Meridian, I think of Clive Barker's Nightbreed, Meridian. I kind of feel like it could probably almost fit into that universe. Pretty cool. If that's really what the wolf looks like, that's pretty cool. I don't know if you can see that too good there. Right here. See that too good, but yeah, I had to grab this. This is pretty pricey. On other sellers, but from her, she sold it to me pretty good. About $20. I think it's going about. I see some people paying as much as $65 for it or so, but yeah, I had to grab that, and I told her. Yeah, and you're underselling yourself, because I believe this is an out-of-print title. And she goes, well, I don't like to price gouge, and respect her for that, but still at the same token, you know, I think eBay needs to cut back on the, like, they used to, but early on, eBay used to do stuff like, well, you can't charge that much for shipping, you can't charge this much for, this is what it's going, you know, they would kind of encourage you to not price gouge, but I don't know what it is, like, in this day and age, they just let people go hog wild and raise, you know, I get it if it's out of print, but, like, if it's kind of on the verge of going out of print, they'll let them, like, get away with it, you know, but it is what it is. And here's the final one I got from MOViE Zing. It stars Cameron Diaz and Abigail Breslin. From the director of The Notebook, which, you know, anything in the Notebook vein, you know, it's going to be tearjerker and really well done. It's My Sister's Keeper, starring Alec Baldwin, Jason Patric, Sofia Vassilieva, Joan Cusack, Jeffrey Lyons of NBC Real Talk, which probably isn't even a movie trade review thing anymore. Enormously touching and genuinely poignant. I would honestly say this was the one movie that I would have, if I would have known it would have been as sad as it was, I probably would have bought a box of Kleenex with me, because this was a really, really sad movie. Yeah, and it got a Heartland Truly Moving Picture Award, and I don't know too many people, or many movies that get that award. This is a New Line Cinema release, PG-13, clocks in at 109 minutes, has over 15 minutes of powerful additional scenes, languages and subtitles, English and Spanish, and so on. And Roger Ebert, late great Roger Ebert, Chicago Sun-Times, says tender and very touching and an audience grabber. Basically, what keeps a family together. Nick Cassavetes, the director of The Notebook, and John Q, again demonstrates his sure hand with tales of deep human emotion in this inspiring film about a loving family challenged and united by a child's illness. Cameron Diaz, Abigail Breslin, Alec Baldwin, and others in an exceptional cast bring sensitivity to the story of an 11-year-old Hannah Fitzgerald, she's basically conceived. That was a rough part for me and my wife when we seen this, because she was basically conceived to be a donor for her leukemia-stricken sister, which we thought, wow, it seems like you didn't even want the kid other than to be a donor. And I don't know, I just think as a parent that's all kinds of wrong. And if you're not a parent, I'm sure out there tonight you probably think that's all kinds of wrong. But who finally demands the right to control her own body? This act of free will may tear the Fitzgeralds apart, or it may be the first step to a triumphant realization of devotion, dignity, and what it means to be a family. But yeah, this was a huge tearjerker. I would probably have to say, in all the years I've gone to the cinema, probably since I had my family, I would definitely put this in the top 5, top 6 of all the saddest movies I've ever seen. Maybe even in the top 3. It's that sad. Very good movie, very well casted. It's kind of shocking Abigail Breslin doesn't do more, because the dramatic stuff that she pulled off in this, and then Little Miss Sunshine and stuff, like, she kind of went the horror route now. Not that that's a bad thing, but it's just, unfortunate, because, like, I think opportunity missed there. And it says it was out in 2009, and it doesn't seem like it was 24 years ago that this come out. But yeah, very good movie. Highly recommend this one, as long as you don't mind. It's kind of like sad in the lungs of what is it, the one with Jennifer, with the dog, the one where I don't know if I can't even think about it. I think it has Owen Wilson in it, maybe too. But yeah, kind of like in the vein of that. Definitely in the vein of the dog movies there that come out not too long ago, with like kind of like from a dog's perspective, and then like they die and then they come back in another, and like reincarnation, but not that this is what this is about, but it's in that vein of like how sad it is. But yeah, very happy to have my sister's keeper. Very rough stuff to get through with the having a kid for the sake of basically donating body parts so the one sister who's dying can live. And just really, really hard to sit through on that stuff. Kind of bothered me throughout. But yeah, that's my haul from MOViE Zing. I'd like to thank everybody that watches the channel. I'm sorry the video is almost 45 minutes in length, but I kind of like to, give each one some kind of nod or, recognition of, the hard work that went into it, and kind of like the details. But thank you for watching. Tell your friends about Gary's Horror Drive. And I know a lot of it this week wasn't full-on horror, but that's why I kind of stuck Dr. Giggles in the main opening. That is horror, obviously. And I do have a number of titles that could be classified, like The 100 is a, sci-fi horror kind of idea, Gothica, and so on. But thank you for watching. But make sure you get here early each and every week, because all the good parking spots go fast. And I'll see you next week. Good night.